guys, this is Nontobego and this is Aaron, my husband. I invited Aaron to join me today because I wrote an article on my blog. If you just want to see the article I'm talking about, it's on nontobegocox.com. It's called Being Single and Christian. So I thought, after the emails I received, people asking me what is it that they should look for in a husband, or what kind of a person they should date, or how do they know that, who the right person is. So I thought I'll answer just one, how do you know, some of the tips that some of the things that you know, or things that you should look out for when you are trying to find the right person. So Aaron is my husband, so he knows the stuff. We've been married now for almost 2 years, and so I thought I'd invite him to talk when it's come to the matters of the heart, because I think he's got lot of wisdom to share.
As is obvious. Alright, so what do you wanna start with?
Well, for me, I would say that, first of all, before you even consider getting into a relationship, you should set your priorities straight. First, you should know who you are, what your priorities are. Before I met Aaron, I always knew that for me, God was always a priority. And so I knew that I wouldn't settle for a guy that didn't know God, that didn't have a relationship with Jesus. And so that was my guide to what I was looking for in a relationship. So if you set the things that are important for you and you make a list, I made a list of all the things that I needed and the things that were important to me, and I look for that. So there are different kinds of priorities, and among my priorities that I had was that I meet somebody that wanted to have kids. I didn't want someone that already had kids, because I wanted to have my own kids. So that was a guide also for me. If my husband didn't want kids, I don't think he would be my husband now. So that was one of the things that were my priorities for me. I wanted someone that loved God. I wanted someone that wanted to have kids, and I knew that those were the things that I wasn't willing to settle for. I may have, however, settled for someone that had kids, as long as I would have my own kids. Only I was too young, and I didn't think that I would make a great stepmom.
Well, yeah. So I think you have to decide, for one thing, what is most important. If there were only 10 people in the world to pick from, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of stuff. You're going to have to say, this matters most, and I can live with this, this, and this. Fortunately, there's more than 10 males and 10 females. So you've got a lot of things. But at the same time, in a person's sphere of, people that they know or people that they can meet, you're not going to meet 6 billion people or whatever. So so you can't be overly picky. So I think it's important to have your main things, like she was saying. Potentially the kids thing could be negotiable, because there's a lot of great guys that, for whatever reason, they have a kid and they're not married, and it could be an awesome husband if the other things were there and were strong enough. And so general priorities for me personally would have been that my to-be wife, when I was single, very much loved God, and very much was someone who really cared about marriage. I think I learned that through a lot of things, that you have to have somebody that thinks the same general things about marriage as you do. They have the same ideas.
Yeah, like love in Corinthians, what love is, and when you guys have a fight, what do you do? You know, like
how you deal with.
do you go to premarital counseling, postmarital counseling, things like that?
Yeah, and can I just tell a quick story? This is one reason that I knew that she was somebody that I was definitely interested in from the get-go. We had texted back and forth, and we were on the opposite sides of the world, and we hadn't met. And we were talking generally about relationships and marriage as if we weren't the ones that we were talking about. But we were just talking, I think this, or I think that, and I think that people should be whatever. And so at some point during this conversation, which I think was one of the first or second conversations that we had via just text, you can see on WhatsApp when the other person is typing, and we just each sent short messages. And then all of a sudden I saw she was typing a long message as I was simultaneously typing a long message. And I was like, I wonder what she's typing. But what we both typed and sent at the exact same time said in different words, but very similar words. Basically, we both said, I think that if two people really practiced the 1 Corinthians 13 definitions of love every day, or at least tried to, that they would have a successful marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And we both sent the message that pretty much said the same thing. And so that, to me, obviously, that doesn't always happen, where it's like, oh, wow, that's something special. But that said a lot to me about her priorities, and let me know that, okay, here's at least a person who has the same basic, like, there's a lot of variables, but the thing that I hold so close, so strongly to in my mind as this is what I really believe matters so much that married people do, I immediately could tell she has already thought this through. She has this same idea. Yeah.
Before we even knew each other.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my, 2 cents about priorities, and for me, what made it to where I knew that she's somebody that I could marry. It's part of.
Yeah, and there's like so many things that we can talk about when it comes to priorities. Like, another thing was, like, for me, when you're looking at someone that to date or someone to marry, look at the things that you cannot change and the things that you can change, and make a separation between those things. If you look at the person and think, okay, look, I don't like your hair, I don't like your clothes. Like, there are some shoes that my husband had that I didn't like when we first met. But I thought, okay, you know what?
I still have them.
Clothes, they can be changed. You do. Clothes can be changed. Cars, you can always get a better car. You can always buy a bigger house, But you can't change a person's heart. You can't change a person's the way that a person treats you or respects you. You like, and you can't change the way that a person interacts with people and respects family in general. So for me, it was important to be very realistic and look at the things and say, okay, well, this guy is well put together spiritually and emotionally, and he cares about family, and he cares about the things that I care about that are so important to me. Okay, but I don't like his haircut, I don't like his clothes, I don't like his car, but can we, together, like, work and get a better car? And when we first got married, we only had one car, but God has blessed us now. We have 2 cars, in fact, and like, God will always make a way for the other things that don't matter so much to come together. So, but you can't change someone with a stinky attitude, right?
I think so. Yeah. And she did like my haircut, by the way.
Oh yeah, I did like your hair.
It was just an example.
I just didn't like your shoes. and you remember your cap that I threw away?
There's a cap that that we lost.
Yeah.
From the move from America to South Africa.
It disappeared. I have no idea where it went.
I found it in the closet, hidden under some things.
Yeah.
And then we lost it again.
There's a lot of things that he keeps just losing. It's his fault,
Okay.
Anyway,
So. Okay.
yeah.
What else then?
I would say, like the vision. It's important that you guys have the same vision, or not the same, but you support each other.
So for like people's life and career and things that they are pursuing, perhaps.
Yeah, like you like music, right? You are a musician, and I'm terrible, babe. I can't sing, but I support you.
She tries so hard.
Jesus loves my singing, but like I support, like but I support him, and I, on the other hand, love writing. I love the media. I like that industry, and we support each other in our chosen fields. And sometimes it can be hard because I don't make like money all the time with my writing. He works with like as a musician, and sometimes there are times where he's not making money doing music, but we still support each other. We still like, okay, you know what, go and do this, go pursue your dreams, and that's important. So if you're looking for someone maybe that's in the ministry, you definitely have to look for someone that like also wants to be in the ministry. But if somebody wants to be in the ministry and you don't want to be in the ministry, but you can support that vision, I think things can work out. The problem is when people get married and then you expect me to support your music, but you don't support me, and then people end up just hating each other and not becoming the best that they can be. They just, I don't know what happens.
I think they have to, sometimes people have to settle to not do what they want to do in life in order to support someone else's idea of what life should be. And there's definitely a balance with that. For example, I can't just do whatever I want. Like, I have to balance my dreams and pursuits with what is best for this family. But that is a lot easier to do when I know that she cares about me pursuing my music, for instance. If she didn't care about it, if it wasn't if it was the kind of thing where I went, months and didn't do a gig or didn't write a song and she never even noticed or cared, that would be different. But she'll say, I'll be busy making a living and working and doing a lot of family stuff and taking care of the baby, doing all this kind of stuff, and that it'll consume a lot of my time. And then she'll say, "Babe, why aren't when are you getting your band together? When are you working towards your next thing? What are you doing for that?" And that means so much to me, just because it's a heart thing. It's not necessarily that you both are achieving these things. That's a matter of time management and all kinds of other things. But when it comes to marriage and people loving each other and not resenting each other, it's a heart thing. It's not necessarily that, okay, if I'm going to be married to such and such person, then I have a priority that cannot change. I have to spend 4 hours a day doing this and this and this, and that cannot change. That's going to change. When you have kids, things are going to change. You may have 2 months, 3 months where you do nothing that has to do. But knowing that the person's heart is for you and not just for themselves and not for their own, and that makes you feel loved and feel at home and feel, just the way you would want to feel about the person that you're married to.
Plus, like pursuing your dreams and pursuing things that you want can be very intimidating sometimes. Like for me, you deal with like insecurities, you deal with a lot of like, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know. But if you have somebody that supports you and you have someone that's like your cheerleader, even if that person is your only fan, and understands your vision and understands what your heart desire is and what God has put in your heart, it's great. Like, you can live your life forever, never like achieve this level of success, but having had that person supports you would be like, okay, great, I did something because I did what I was meant to do, even though I had one person supporting me. So it's very important that you find someone that will support your vision and your goals in life, and will be your cheerleader
and believes in the thing that you believe in also. And I think that the supporting comes much more naturally when you believe in why the person does what they're doing. And so I think that that's also important, because you can say, you know, somebody who really likes a guy, some girl who really thinks, oh, he's this and this and this, and he's got this thing that this hobby, whatever, this thing that, and you don't really care so much about it, but you like 2 or 3 other things about him, so you're like, oh yeah, I can support that, I can be his cheerleader for that, whatever, and it's something you really don't like at all, or whatever, don't care about. Eventually those other things will fizzle away, and you'll forget, and then if you don't actually really believe in the thing that the person believes in at a heart level, at a root level, it's going to be a lot harder to support that thing that's taking a lot of time and money and whatever away from the family. We could go on and on about that, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the sake of time, and we're going to put some more thoughts and ideas on a different video a little bit later.
And if you guys want to subscribe to our channel, just press the subscribe button and let us know on the email below what your thoughts are, or if there is any other topic you would like us to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.